everyone, and welcome. I hope the sound's working okay, is it? Can everyone hear? Good. Welcome to this seminar, which I think goes straight to the heart of one of the most exciting, challenging and fast-moving aspects of publishing today, and that is the digital landscape. And in particular, what it means for what the industry currently describes as publicists and marketers. That's the people in the room here today who are responsible for making the connection between writers and readers. It's very significant and worth commenting, I think, that this is the first seminar to be run in conjunction with both the Book Marketing Society and the Publishers' Publicity Circle. And I think the significance of that is that the digital world and the opportunities which it provides for selling books simply don't recognize any of the traditional job distinctions that we make in publishing. Now, if you had asked most publishers 10 years ago who their customers were, I think you'd find they'd all say booksellers. But of course, that's changed, and if you asked any publisher now, they'd all say consumers, readers. Digital engagement with readers has become the key part of any publishing strategy. Now, traditionally, Publicity, as you all know, focused on so-called free coverage aimed at consumers to generate word of mouth about books. And marketing was a kind of halfway house, I suppose, partly focused on selling books to retailers and partly, and only for a few campaigns which could afford it, organizing paid-for advertising. So what we want to look at today is how relevant are these distinctions? And do they just get in the way of exploiting the fantastic new digital marketing opportunities which emerge every single day? And what new skills do we need to exploit those opportunities? And how can we, as a publishing industry, move and adapt to such a fast-moving environment? Well, I'm very delighted to welcome a panel who are going to give us answers, I hope, to all those questions. They are all people who are wrestling with these issues in various areas, and they're going to share with us some of their first-hand experience and observations with us to try and help answer some of these burning questions. So if I may introduce them, on my far right, we have Claire Armistead from The Guardian. Claire is very well known to many of you, as she was the literary editor of the print Guardian for 12 years. As you know, The Guardian was one of the earliest newspaper groups successfully to embrace the digital world, and Claire now has the fascinating, I suppose you would call it, crossover job of books editor for Guardian News and Media, which covers The Guardian, The Observer, and crucially, The Guardian Online. And so there are few people better placed to talk about transition from physical to digital than Claire. She also presents a weekly books podcast for The Guardian and is a regular guest talking about books and publishing on the BBC. Welcome, Claire. Next, we have Amelia Fairley, who is in the comparatively new job of Communications Director for Penguin General, managing a merged PR and marketing department there. Amelia began her career as a bookseller for Sheraton Hughes, and I wonder how many people in this room remember Sheraton Hughes, a very successful book chain of its time. And she then went on to work in both marketing and publicity for the Woman's Press, Little Brown, and Penguin. She's going to tell us, among other things, about why Penguin merged the two functions and how that works, with particular regard to digital activity. On my immediate left is Michelle Goodall, who is a communications and social media consultant, and so works at the coalface of digital marketing, if I may use a heritage metaphor. Her areas of expertise cover everything from public relations to social media, community management, and content strategy. And she's worked with many organizations to help them with the opportunities and indeed the risks that emerging technologies bring. She's worked with publishers such as Random House and Penguin, and also organizations in the real world, such as the RSPCA, Barclaycard, Coca-Cola, and Aviva. And I'm sure she's going to have some very interesting things to say about her experiences with other industries and how they've dealt with the transition. And on my far left is Joanna Ellis. Jo was marketing director of Faber for 5 years. She's now associate director of the Literary Platform, which, for those of you who don't know it, is a free online resource dedicated to showcasing projects experimenting with literature and technology. It was described by The Guardian as an inspiring browse around some of the most innovative and collaborative experiments taking place in the exciting physical to digital realm. Jo will give us a unique perspective, I think, on how book marketing should be defined and where social media fits in.